But let's look at some interesting poll numbers. First, let's just remind you, here's the new Granite State poll from WMUR this morning. Hillary Clinton is far away the front runner among Democrats. 51% in New Hampshire among Democrats. Elizabeth Warren's not running. She's at 20%. Bernie Sanders is running. He's at 13%. Keep an eye on that number. The New York Governor, Andrew Cuomo, at 3%. A big surprise for me here is that Joe Biden has fallen even more to 2%. I think most Democrats have now processed she's in, he's not going to run. I don't think that's so much anti-Joe Biden, just a reflection of that he's unlikely to run. So she's far and away the front runner in New Hampshire. We'll watch and see if those numbers change. Watch Bernie Sanders, watch Lincoln Chafee, watch Jim Webb, the guys who are actually running at the moment, and Governor O'Malley as well. Here's what gets me. This is proof to me that, number one, Hillary Clinton is unlike anybody else in this race because she's been with us so long, and people think they know her so well. And number two, polls are interesting, polls are helpful, but depending on how you ask a question, even a slight change in the question gets you a different answer. Here's the New York Times CBS poll out this morning. Is Hillary Clinton honest and trustworthy? 48% say yes, 45% say no. Now, that's not great. That's an evenly divided country, but in an evenly divided political country, that's about what you might expect. 48 yes, 45 no. NBC Wall Street Journal asked the question this way. Is Hillary Clinton honest and straightforward? A little different in the question there. We've talked about the private email server. We've been talking about the Clinton Foundation donations. Only 25% rate her as good or very good on honest and straightforward. About half who say she's honest and trustworthy if you compare the other poll.
Right. I'm struck by the fact that you have Clinton loyalists on Twitter right now bragging about the New York Times poll as if, okay, they've won and they've gotten past the scandal. I think reporters and pundits need to keep two questions in mind when you're looking at a scandal like this, a controversy like this. One, what is the effect on the campaign? And depending on what poll you're looking at, either it's had an impact or it hasn't. Good debate to have. But also, what does it reflect about the candidate as a potential leader, going back to my previous point? If you ask that question, clearly we're seeing a candidate who right now is not showing us transparency, accountability, or a high level of ethical standards. Those are things we should be factoring in either as well, especially reporters. We shouldn't look at this as, you know, if the polls go her way, that doesn't necessarily mean that we should stop reporting on it. Right. And the Clinton people certainly shouldn't take any solace in those polls because they haven't gotten beyond those fundamental questions of leadership.
But what I think is so interesting when you look at these numbers and you compare them side by side is that even though perhaps half of voters don't think she's some combination of honest, trustworthy, straightforward, she is still far and away the Democratic choice in this primary season. There is no indication that Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, anyone else is going to seriously challenge her. The party is all in, regardless of honesty and trustworthiness. It's kind of a sad situation, actually.